So who makes the best TVs? I think this is going to be one of the most popular questions that we keep seeing over and over again, and today I'm going to answer it. So smack like on this video, subscribe, and let's get started. I will save you a lot of time. A lot of people like to filibuster on these YouTube videos. The people who make the best TVs are simply Samsung. Now, before anybody goes, I knew it, he's a Samsung sellout, we're gonna go down the list of like all of the main brands, and then we're gonna talk about why they competitively don't make the best TVs. So we're gonna start with, let's go with Vizio, right? Something random. Vizio doesn't make the best TVs because they just kind of stopped trying in 2024, and your only real options are old TVs that are super buggy and glitchy. The user interface was not a joy, random audio dropouts and quality control issues. Vizio, off the table, right? All right, next let's look at TCL. TCL is coming up. But coming up is just that. They haven't arrived there yet. They still have some issues as far as rendering highlights the way they need to be rendered and certain parts of the image, on top of making sure that quality control similarly is where it needs to be. Because even on the TCL QM851G, I noticed things like when you'd move the TV, the panel holding the TV together would move and bend in weird ways to where it felt flimsy and cheap. The difference between high-end products and, again, lower cost products working their way up to be high-end products. The picture quality was great, but again, it just lacked that extra level of processing, I would say, to give it the sharpness and clarity you'd find on the next brand we're going to talk about, LG. While LG has some of the tack sharp, most clear pictures you are ever going to see in your life, they have a problem. The LED range that they make is neglected. They don't do anything to innovate and make it truly fantastic to keep up with their TCL and Hisense counterparts, so you're better off not buying those. But then you look at something like, let's say, their OLED line, and then a lot of people go, oh wow, so exciting. The only thing that has been exciting has been the announcement of MLA, and that just makes the TV very bright. And I grant you, it has an impressive effect until you get to the color aspect, and that's where it becomes unimpressive. Because it is a WOLED, if you don't know how that technology works, just that white subpixel washes things out and ruins your color. That hasn't changed, so you're making it brighter and you're still washing out your color, so it's a really bright TV that's really sharp but washed out. And the mid-range models like the, again, C4 look, again, identical to the B4. And I'm going to tell you out of the box, none of them look great. So then now you're like, okay, well, what the hell do I do? You jump ship over to the next brand, Sony. Sony is known for being the most expensive brand there is, period, right? If you want bragging rights, look no further. But past that, they offer very little to the competition. For starters, when you talk about gaming, they are just the laggiest TVs there are by comparison outside of game mode. So if you didn't want to always live in game mode and kill off your picture processing, good luck. Then Sony is the most authoritarian of them all. They make you sign into your Google profile this year. Again, not giving you the choice to just use your TV offline if you sign in with the internet per se. So if you are on Wi-Fi at all, it's just you lose all your rights as an owner for things. And then before you even use it, force terms of service, which no other brand does right now. That's disgusting. Then factor in the quality aspect if you were willing to forgive all of that. Sony TVs at the LED line similarly have hazy, cloudy, ugly picture quality that you would find on other mid-range and entry-level TVs from less expensive brands. And it makes it a point where I'm paying the Sony price tag, but I'm getting the lesser brand quality. So again, you look at the color coverage or the wide color gamut that these TVs are offering, and they're not very wide at all. And Sony's TVs, pretty much none of them outside of the Bravia 7 and the Bravia 9 offer quantum dots at all, so they're not even QLED at most of their ranges and through most of the years they've been doing this. And then you look at the Bravia 7, and again, more of the same, hazy garbage. It's not a fantastic or spectacular TV for the price. Again, if it was a super cheap TV, I don't think anybody would complain. You look at the Bravia 9, more of the same, hazy TV that underperforms and large by everything in its price range. So then you look at the next brand. You look at Hisense. Hisense is fantastic. I think they are one of the best. I would probably end up giving them the second spot as the second best brand right now because of the picture quality alone. It's amazing. They have a problem though. Again, similarly to TCL, processing is your issue. So you're going to run into issues like, again, you notice these weird little moire effects, posterization that's disgusting like I did this year on the 55 U8N. You're going to notice motion problems where there are a lot of artifacts. If you want to use motion processing to smooth out the jitters, it's just not going to be there. And then the general graininess of the image is something you're going to have to struggle and suffer with. If they could fix those problems, great, but right now, this is where we are. And then again, there's weird stuff that happens when you try to use advanced resolutions on PC, where some people have some issues with ghosting, some people have some issues with just getting the resolutions to work in general, working with VRR. There's too many issues right now for it to be a best brand. Even with those issues though, it's still pretty damn fantastic. Then enter Samsung into the conversation. I won't lie, like, I have had my issues with Samsung, particularly with the S95B. I cannot stand what they've done with their updates. Samsung is notorious for the most cancerous updates I've ever seen, where they push out an update, your product is shit now. I don't get it. It makes no sense. But when you look at the product though, holy shit, no one comes close. Because look at their LED line of televisions, even down to like, let's say their Q60R or whatever it is, Q60D. Those are still affordable TVs that come in every size. So if you had an RV, for example, you could put that TV in your RV. Or if you wanted something really, really tiny for the kids' room, but you didn't want to spend a whole lot of money, Samsung's where it's at. They're going to give you every size you can imagine at every price point. That's huge because, again, if you're somebody who's not a stickler for quality, they're going to give you everything. But then let's focus on, let's say, just the high-end stuff, right? Look at the quantum dot OLEDs they're coming out with right now. Those things are beyond anything I've ever seen. Yes, Sony has one. It's overpriced, and they run the colors way too blue. So everything looks like it's wrapped in a cold filter on Instagram. Not worth it. Then you look at, again, LG. They don't have a quantum dot. There's only two manufacturers offering quantum dot OLEDs, Sony and Samsung. And I'm going to tell you right now, Samsung is doing it the best ever. Because those colors pop in a way that like makes you rediscover what movie watching is, what storytelling is, what video gaming is. I'm playing Dragon Ball Sparking Zero right now, like pretty much a lot of you guys, okay? And the game has never looked better. Just last night, I kid you not, I was there with freaking Dragon Ball Super Broly, and I'm doing like this little battle against all the little Pride Troopers or whatever, and the visuals are so incredible. The colors are so nice. They're flying off when you're doing all the specials, and you're just watching with a big smile on your face, like, oh my god, this is actually mine. I can enjoy this. This is wonderful. You almost feel like you're stealing something because of how good it is. Let's say, okay, picture quality is fantastic, guy, but what else does it offer? Smart things. Don't underestimate smart things. With your cell phone, you can literally turn on your TV, turn on or control things from your TV's hub. I mean, it's just the best integrated app system there is. SmartThings is the king of all smart apps because I'm telling you, it is the perfect way to integrate your whole home from just your phone and one single app or your product in general, whether it's your television or whatever smart things you have. I love it. I can't speak highly enough of it. I think there's something very special about being able to press a button and turn on my Samsung stove, or press a button and turn on my Samsung washer, or press a button and turn on my TVs, whichever one I want. Turn them off, adjust the sounds, go in and out of apps. That combined with the picture quality, fantastic. But then let's say, okay, I don't care about that. I'm a gamer. Gamers have the best experience out of every manufacturer. It is the only TV brand on earth that has motion processing in game mode. And that means the typical jankiness, jutterness, crappy look that you have to your image quality, it doesn't exist on a Samsung TV. And then you factor in the really low input lag and now you're in for a treat. I mean, they give you features on top of features on top of features, and then you get to HDR and they are the best HDR experience you are going to have. I would argue that Sony is probably the next closest with how 3D they look on the A95L. That is it. No other TVs right now are in the realm of what we have on Sony and Samsung. And when you look at the price of the Sony, the Samsung delivers a far more realistic picture that looks way better. I've done comparisons if you're interested in checking that out. But I'm telling you, from professional experience and personal experience, there is nothing like a Samsung television. That's who makes the best TVs right now. From the amount of sizes you get, the amount of features through SmartThings, and the integration of your app, touching everything with a button, killing off remotes. Literally, they have solar-powered remotes. Who else is doing it in the game like that, where you literally don't even need batteries if you don't want to? I hate replacing batteries. You can use a USB charger to charge, or you can use the fucking sun or ambient light around you. It is incredible to think that there is still an argument about who is making the better TVs out there. There is no doubt. Samsung wins that. They absolutely win that. People can say that, oh, well, I've had issues with Samsung all they want, but I can tell you, give it enough time and compare it to enough brands, you'll consistently see Samsung's at the top because of what they give overall. And that is just the plain truth. But maybe I'm off the mark and you disagree. Who else do you think makes the best brands? And if so, let me know in the comments down below if it's different from mine. But if you agree, let me know why too. Thanks so much for watching the #1 brand in honesty, and until the next video, I'll see you guys later.